I'm Jay Scott, and welcome to the show. I'm going to be bringing you funny stories, comedy news, and some of my favorite clips from comedians who know how to make people laugh. Now, comedy's a funny thing because what makes one person laugh might not even get a reaction from someone else. Some people love crowd, where comedians interact with the audience. Some people love storytelling. And for others, it's all about that perfect one-liner that hits you out of nowhere. For me, my favorite kind of comedy is when someone can tell a great story, something that pulls you in, makes you laugh, and maybe even makes you think a little bit. There's something special about a comedian who can take a normal moment from their life and turn it into something everybody can relate to. Now, I know this might not be a popular opinion, but crowd work has never really been my favorite. It's just not my thing. Sometimes it feels less like comedy and more like watching the kid in school who would get laughs by picking on someone and throwing out insults. Some comedians are amazing at it, but personally, it's just not what I look for when I want to laugh. I guess you could say I'm a little old school. One of my all-time favorite comedians is Richard Pryor. What made him great was that he wasn't just telling jokes. He was telling stories. He was animated, honest, and he had a way of taking real life, the good and the bad, and turning it into comedy. And that's what I think great comedians do. They take the things they've experienced, the struggles they've gone through, weird moments in life, and somehow find the funny side of it. One of my favorite comedians is Dusty Slay. He has a great storytelling style, and he's one of those guys who can take a simple everyday situation and turn it into something hilarious. In this clip, he talks about smoking in a hotel bathroom.
When I do smoke in the hotel, I like to take it very seriously. I go into the room, I put the do not disturb sign on the door, and then I go into the bathroom and I put another do not disturb sign on the door. That way, if they come through the first door, they'll be like, actually, this is a lot more private than we realized. We shouldn't have come through the first one, but it is definitely against hotel policy to go through 2 do not disturb signs. Then I put a little towel under the door. I take a little hit, blow it into the toilet, close the lid, flush it.
Great stuff. And that's exactly what I mean when I talk about taking everyday situations and finding the funny side of them. Sometimes life writes jokes better than comedians do. Now, I don't know if this next story's funny, but I'm going to say it is a case of karma coming back around and knocking on your door. You know the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Well, apparently you also shouldn't judge a crime scene by first impressions. This happened in Alabama, where police found a couple dead in the woods. At first, it looked like it might have been some kind of tragic accident. But after investigators started digging into the details, they realized this wasn't an accident at all. It was murder. The bodies of Jessica Folds, 47, and Daniel Robbins, 44, were found lying side by side on a forest trail. At first, police weren't even sure they were dealing with foul play. But then the investigation took a much darker turn. Authorities determined Folds had been strangled, and evidence suggested Robbins had been dragging her body into the woods. Now, I'm not a criminal expert, but I do know one thing. If your big plan involves dragging a body through the woods, maybe step one should be hitting the gym first. Because that's the thing about crime. People think the hard part is committing it. No. Then comes the cleanup, the hiding, the explaining, and the part where detectives start asking questions. You're not done after the crime. You just signed up for the worst episode of Dateline nobody wants to be featured on. Anyway, that story got dark fast. So, let's lighten things up a little bit. Let's check out another clip of Dusty talking about his experience finding smoking weed.
This weed could be killing people, I don't know. Weed grew up, got violent, that's all I know. You know, I grew up in Alabama, and weed used to be scary to get, but fun to do. But now if you live in a state where it's legal, weed's like fun to get, but scary to do. Like when I was growing up, if you wanted to get weed, you had to get like $10, $25 together. You go to a bad neighborhood, some guy'd come out, and you give him the money. He may come back with a weed, he may not, right? It's 50-50, really. You never knew what it'd be in. It might be in a bag, it might be in a coffee filter. One guy brought me weed right out of his hand one time. I was like, I'm not sure you weighed this. If you don't have money for bags, you don't have money for scales, I know that. Now I take one hit, I'm out walking around in the yard praying. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I'm just saying over and over again, weed's never killed anyone. Weed's never killed anyone. I'm like, I don't even know if that's true. That used to be true, but I don't know if it's true anymore. I mean, this weed could be killing people, I don't know. Weed grew up, got violent. When you got the weed, it was fun, easy, light weed, you know? Nowadays, if you live in a state where it's legal, buying weed is like a shopping experience, you know? You go into a store, it's all well lit, it's like a Best Buy or an AT&T store in there. Sometimes the cops are there, but to protect the drug dealers. Some of these stores are set up like a pharmacy. Everybody inside's a little scientist. They're telling you about all the different strands of weed. One lady was like, this weed is creative and uplifting. I was like, I don't really know what that means, to be honest with you, but I'm not looking to spend time with the weed. Not trying to hear the weed's ideas on things. They think I'm weird because I'm always like, what's the weakest weed you have in here?
Well, that's it for today. I hope you had a few laughs. Next time I'll have even more funny clips from some of my favorite comedians and a little less of me talking. I know why you really showed up. Before I go, let me leave you with a couple of classic dad jokes. What do you call fake spaghetti? An impasta. And here's one more. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, terrible atmosphere. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I'd love to have you back for the next one. Until then, keep laughing, because life is a whole lot better when you do. See you in the next video.